Hello and welcome to another tutorial from the W3schools website, W3schools.com website about Python. And this tutorial will be about format strings in Python. So to get started on this tutorial, go to this website, W3schools.com/Python. Click on the strings tab here, and then click on format strings. Okay, this is a video from a series of videos about Python, and in the previous video we looked at concatenate strings. In this video we're going to look at format strings. So string format, what is string format? Okay, so as we learned in the Python variables chapter, we cannot combine strings and numbers like this. Okay, so you can't combine a number and a string. This is a number in Python, this is a string. You can't do that, you'll get an error. Let's give it a try and see what happens. So I want you to do the same thing. Click on this button. It's going to open up this this exercise, and then look at the code. Okay, and then press run. Okay, it's going to give us an error. It's saying so in line 2 there's a type error, can only concatenate str, not int to str. Okay, so you can't concatenate something of type int to something of type str. So let's write out this code. I know we've seen that it doesn't work, but I want you to try it just so that you can see for yourself and get the hang of doing it. So write age equals 36 or 35, it doesn't matter. Write txt equals my name is John, I am, and then plus age. Okay, so you declared the age variable at giving it a value of 35 in a number. You have this text variable, and you're adding the string to the variable age. And then if you print it, you should get an error. So run it. You should get the same error basically, but this is saying line 8, right? Because line 8 is this line here. So how would you fix that? Well, this is what this lesson is about, this kind of situation. So how to overcome this kind of thing. So now that you're aware of the issue, let's go on to the next exercise. So it says here, but we can combine strings and numbers using the format method. So this is one way of doing it. There's many ways of solving the problem, but in this tutorial, they're going to show you this format strings method. Okay, so the format method takes the past arguments. The format method takes the past arguments, formats them. So past, they don't mean past tense. It means the arguments that you passed into the function. So for example, you might pass a number of 3 and a string of hello world into here, or hello everyone, hello 3 people, for example. You might pass the value of 3 and then hello the plus people plus the value people into here. And then it formats them and it places them in the string where the placeholders are. Okay, so let's just take a look at the example, and I think by trying it you'll get the hang of it. So click on try it yourself, and take a look, press run. So it says my name is John and I'm 36. So let's look at the code here. So we have an age variable, we have a number value assigned to the age variable, we have another variable called txt, we have a string, okay, that says this. And the important thing is, you notice the curly braces here, right? The open and close curly braces. This thing here, these curly braces serve as a placeholder for the variable that you're going to pass to the format function. Okay, you'll get the hang of it once you play around with this. So as usual, I want you to code this out yourself. And right, age equals 36. Txt equals my name is John and I am, okay, open curly braces, close curly braces. You notice how this is all within these double quotes, okay? It's all within the string. Okay, so the double quotes. You could use single quotes also, it probably would work. And then you're gonna print. So you basically going to pass it the txt variable. You're going to access the format function. Okay, so this is probably format function is a function that's native to the most likely native to the str class. That's why you're able to access or use the function using this dot notation. So Python understands that txt is a string, is an str. You can then run certain methods against it, like the format method or function, and that method will take another string. Will it take a string? It will take, sorry, it will take another variable. It probably could be a string or an int or any other variable. We'll see that after in a sec. We'll just test that out. So we're going to pass it the variable age. And then you're going to run this. Okay. So I just want to run it before printing it out and just see what happens if we get any errors. So let's run that. Okay, it shouldn't output anything because we're not printing anything. It doesn't seem to be outputting any error. So I'm going to write print. Yeah, and it's blank. Now I'm going to run it again. And I should have... Okay, hello. Sorry, my name is John and I am 36. So again, to understand what happened, you're using the txt variable, which is a string. You're accessing the native or built-in method called format, and then you're passing it the variable age, which is the number, and then it's basically looking into the string and then passing it the value inside of these curly braces. You could have put here the age of, say, 40, okay, and run it. And you would get, see, the same thing except for 40. And what if you passed it another string instead of a number? Okay, so I just want to show you. So I'm going to print here type age. Okay, so that's going to tell us what type the variable age is. What type of value is this? So it's saying it's class int. Okay, so age is class int. And now I want to change this to a string. I'm curious to see what's going to happen. So I'm going to leave it 40. I'm going to put it in between quotation marks. So this basically turns the value into a string when you put it between quotation marks, double quotation marks or single quotes, and run it. Okay, and it works just as well. So that's just to show you that this format function, which is native to the str class, can take, so far as we can see, it can take integers and it can also take strings, and it can probably take floats and doubles and so on. So it's you can look up the documentation for this yourself, and if you want to try it out with different types of variables, different types of values, you can. So let's say here, let's pass it a float. It should work. So it works with float. What else do you want to test this out with? We tested it with float. I mean, that's enough, right? So basically it's cool. So you can pass it different types, right, of data. And it's nice because it saves you some time. You don't have to write it out like this, right? There's two ways of doing this. You could have either written txt equals my name is John and I am, okay, then you'd have to put a double quotation mark, then you'd have to write plus age, right? And then let's call this txt old, okay, and this is the, or just call it txt underscore, and this is the txt using the format, okay? So if you print this out, so let's print this, and I'll use, so I'm going to print out both these variables, right? They're both going to use the same age variable. I'll pass it the value of 40 and then see what it gives you. It's giving us an error. Why? Oh, this is what we learned in the other lesson, right? You can't concatenate. You can't concatenate a string with a number. How silly of me. So let me go back to the other tutorial. I made the mistake. Funny. Okay, so how do you do that? Oh, they didn't show us here. That was the problem, right? That we saw here, right? Format strings. Yeah, you can't do this, right? This is what we just saw, sorry. So, yeah, so basically that just goes to show this is how you solve the problem, okay? Using this curly brace. Another way of doing this would be to cast. Okay, I already know how to do this. I just wanted to show you. So how do you cast? You just you can cast using the str function like that. I think that's how you do it. Let me check. Yeah, so that's how you can cast the number, this is a number, into a string using this cast function. Okay, str function. Another way of doing it would be to go like that, okay? That would be cheating though, right? Because then it would change the type of the age variable to a string. So if you want to stay consistent and not change this type into a string type, str type, you can just go like this and cast the age value into an str this way. Okay, so these are two different ways of accomplishing the same thing. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so we did this. So the format method takes an unlimited number of arguments and are placed into the respective placeholders. Oh, cool. So that's really cool. So you can give it any number of arguments. So you could give it these three different variables, and you can place them in here. Okay. So let's try that. Okay, run it. And then it should basically give you the same thing. I want 3 pieces of item 5, 6, 7, 4, 49.95. Okay, comment this out and then press run. Now type out the same thing, okay? Just to get the hang of using Python. So you're gonna write quantity equals 3, item number equals 5, 6, 7, price equals 49.95, my order equals, I'm gonna go like this, okay, with the underscore, just to name the variables properly. So I want, remember, open curly brace, close curly brace. That's the first placeholder. Pieces of item, the second placeholder, for third placeholder, dollars. Okay, and then you're gonna run it, okay, just to see that there are no errors. print my order. Okay. Order, you have to be consistent with the variable name, right? I changed the variable name, so here you have to write the new variable name. You're going to use the format function, quantity. You're going to pass it item number and price. Okay. Then run it. So you get the same thing, right? I want 3 pieces of item 567 for $49.95. So that's really cool. So the point of this exercise is to show you that, what is it? To show you that you can pass an unlimited number of an unlimited number of arguments into this format function, as long as you can create these placeholders for them. What if you didn't put this last placeholder? What would happen? Let's just see. I'm gonna run that. You probably get an error saying, oh no, it worked. Okay, so you can put so I'll put that back, and then I want to put another placeholder here and see what happens. So it's saying here, index error, placement index 3 is out of range of positional arguments tuple. So you're giving it a tuple of data, a collection of data, and it's missing this last one. This would be argument 0, argument 1, 2, and 3. So argument 3 is out of range because you didn't provide it with a value. So you could, what if you got rid of this dollars? I just want to run it again. Okay. And then I'm gonna give it the value of rupees. Notice how I passed it a string. Sorry, I'm not here. I have to pass it in here. This is commented out, right? This is already commented out. It's commented out. So you'd have to put it in here. So rupees. Let's run that. So it worked. Okay. So I want 3 pieces of item 567 for 49.95 rupees. What about if you put pesos? Pesos. Okay, and it should work also. Cool. That's a really nice way, a really nice shortcut, right? The format function from this str class. It's a really nice way of doing this. It makes it a lot easier to work with the strings. Let's go to the next exercise here. So you can use index numbers 0 to be sure the arguments are placed in the correct placeholder. Oh, cool. Okay, so basically, let's just try this. Run it. So it's saying, I want to pay $49.95 for 3 pieces of item 567. You have these variables that you've declared. And then you are saying here to pay 2. So 2, right? 2 would be, you're basically saying it, $2. Okay, I want you to type this out. I want to pay 2. Why 2? 2, 0. Oh, okay. 2 because this is argument 2, right? Argument 0, argument 1, argument 2. So you're specifying argument 2 here. Here you're going to specify argument 0, so that would be quantity, right? 3 pieces. And then here you're going to specify argument 1, right? Argument 1 is item number. item 567. Okay, so let's type that out. So type out quantity. Oops. Equals 3. Item number equals 567. Price equals $49.95. My order equals, I want to pay $2 for 0 pieces of item. Notice how this is on a second line. I just want to show you how it's possible to use a second line. Okay, so my order equals, I want to pay. The important part of this lesson is the position of the argument. You can specify inside of the placeholder, okay, using the number, the position number. So you're gonna print. Let me just run this first because I know it's gonna throw an error. So it's saying here there's a problem with when scanning this string, literal. So let's try to fix that because there's 2 lines right here. So it's basically thinking that this is a new variable and this string isn't closed, right? So the way around that is you can use triple quotes. Let me try that. Let's run that. Okay, we don't have any errors. So you're gonna print my order dot format. Okay, so you're passing it quantity, then item number, then price. Okay, run. So it worked even on 2 lines. So it says I want to pay $49.95 for 3 pieces of item 567. So play around with that, and the important part here is you can specify which argument. Okay, so remember these are arguments. Okay, they're passed to this function, to this method called format. Argument 1, argument 0, argument 1, argument 2. Okay, so you're in this format, in this string format, you're saying in this placeholder I want to take the second argument. Okay, the second argument is price, right? I know it. Remember, you start with 0, 1, 2. Okay, so this would be the argument 2. Okay, so which is price. In this placeholder, I want to take argument 0, so that would be quantity. Okay, so 3, right? 3 pieces. And in this argument, in this placeholder, I want to take argument 1, which is item number. Item number is 567. Give it a try and play around with that just to get the hang of it. Let's go on to the next part of this. So that covers everything for this str format function, string format function. I hope you learned a lot here, and in the next tutorial we will go over escape characters, okay, in the Python string tutorials. Okay, so we learned about string format in this video. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you in the next one.